Всем привет! Эксклюзивное интервью с Дэниелом Брайаном, бывшим чемпионом в тяжелом весе и действующим командным чемпионом. Mr. Bryan, how are you doing?
I'm doing very well. How are you?
I'm fine. Not too bad. First question, you weren't here the first time WWE came to Russia.
Right.
So how do you feel finally making it to Russia and performing in front of Russian fans?
Oh, it's awesome. I'm really excited, and especially the shows here in Moscow. I mean, it's going to be awesome. It's always interesting to see how people from different countries react to WWE.
Yeah, sure.
The WWE was in Russia a year ago. Do other your colleagues or wrestlers, do they said something to you about Russia, about this time?
Yeah, they said it was awesome. They said the show was a lot of fun, and then just being able to see Russia, because very few of us have ever been here. You know, this is my first time here, and just being able to come and see the country is incredible. And then they said the show was just awesome, and they said that the fans were great. So I expect the same when we come back.
Your WrestleMania match has been announced. It's you and your partner Kane against Dolph Ziggler and Biggie Langston. Give us your thoughts about that match and your thoughts in general about Team Ziggy and Biggie, I guess. And who, in fact, are your Russian opponents as well.
Yeah. So I'm hoping that WrestleMania this year is better than WrestleMania last year.
And the year before.
Yeah, and the year before. So I have kind of a WrestleMania curse, and I'm hoping to break it this year. So I'd like to still be the tag team champion after WrestleMania. But Dolph and Big E, so Dolph is fantastic in the ring. Big E is unproven. We haven't seen him on TV yet as far as what he can do. So it should be really interesting, but I still think me and Kane are the best tag team in the world.
Should be like 18 minutes this time.
I hope it's, I'd actually like it to be about 5 minutes, but this time maybe me winning instead, or even 18 seconds with me winning, as long as I'm winning.
Talking about your tag team partner Kane, it looks like he was an active wrestler, Kane, even before you entered the ring at all. What it's like to be the part of tag team with such kind of experienced veteran?
Well, it's incredible because there's so much that you can learn from Kane that you can't learn from anybody else, because he's literally been Kane on WWE TV since 1997. In 1997, I was 16 years old and I was still in high school, right? Ryback had a poster of Kane on his wall. You know what I mean? Like, from our generation, he's really somebody who's looked up to, and you can learn a lot. And he teaches you a lot about perspective. You know, as far as okay, this may seem like a big deal right now, but more importantly, you need to be watching for this and this and this. I mean, which is something that you don't learn with the younger guys.
What would it like to win the World Heavyweight Championship?
Oh, I mean, it was a dream come true. I mean, everybody who's a wrestling fan, when they're a kid, dreams of winning the World Heavyweight title. I mean, that was like watching Ric Flair and Ricky Steamboat wrestle when I was 9 years old. I was like, oh my gosh, I held the same title that those guys do, and those guys are legends. So it's cool.
2 guess questions. Who's better, Isaac Yankem or Fake Diesel?
So, in my opinion, Isaac Yankem was better, but I don't know who everybody else would think. I didn't like Fake Diesel.
And the second one is, what is more powerful, Daniel's Bryan beard or Cody Rhodes' mustache?
Oh, my beard is way more powerful.
Yeah.
A mustache it's a manicured thing. It's not like there's nothing strong about a mustache.
Even women has mustaches.
Yeah, so a lot of women have mustaches. So you get a big strong beard like this. It takes a real man to grow a beard like this.
How did the yes no thing come about, and did you expect such a reaction?
I actually did not expect that kind of reaction at all. The yes thing was just me celebrating because I was the World Heavyweight Champion. And then it just really started picking up steam to where I could do it even without being the champion. And then the no thing was just a backlash against the yes thing, which only, so I would say yes and people would say yes. I said no and people would still say yes. It's really weird.
Your dream WrestleMania opponent?
Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels is the best.
Your teacher?
Yeah, he's the guy who helped train me, and I've never stepped foot in the ring with him as far as actually having a match with him, so that would be my dream.
Talking about this, what was your experience with training with Shawn Michaels? Seems like he's not really active trainer even now when his career is over. And what was he doing back then when you were studying?
He had actually retired for a short amount of time, for several years, and so he was a very active participant in our training. So he was there 3 times a week. He wasn't allowed to get in the ring. Although he loves wrestling so much, he couldn't stop himself. So medically, he wasn't supposed to. But he would get in the ring and he would show us how to do something, and then the next day he'd walk in and like barely be able to walk. But that's the kind of passion that he had for wrestling, which is, and he taught us a lot about how hard you need to work and how dedicated you need to be. And especially, he was considered in his era a very small wrestler. And so how much hard work he had to put in to make it in WWE then. And then that transferred over to guys like me and Bryan that, hey, for us to make it at that level, we're going to have to work this hard to be able to keep up with it. Because WWE likes big guys. They like the Ryback. They like John Cena, that sort of thing. For somebody like me who's only 5'8", 200 pounds, to break through into WWE, it's very difficult.
3 most underrated submission holds, in your opinion?
Gosh, probably the armbar, although Alberto Del Rio uses it very well. I like the cattle mutilation, which is what I used when I was on the Independence, which is a double armbar into a bridge. And something that nobody uses except sometimes Undertaker is the triangle choke, which I think is just, it's awesome. So.
Talking about submission holds, you are often referred as one of the men of 1,000 holds. And do you have any martial arts background, like judo or something like this?
I do a lot of kickboxing, and I do a lot of just submission wrestling. As far as I wrestled a little bit in high school, but I used to train at Extreme Couture, Randy Couture's gym in Las Vegas, and so training with Neil Melanson, who's one of the best submission coaches in the United States. So I train with him, and then do a lot of kickboxing and stuff. So I love martial arts. I love MMA. I think it's one of the funnest things to do.
How do you feel about a lot of independent guys coming to WWE? Obviously, CM Punk was the pioneer, and now it's you, it's Cassius Ohno, Adrian Neville, and such, and it goes on and on and on. And I wanted to ask you, Jericho said recently that he was upset about the lack of guys who had that international experience, a lot of experience. How do you feel about a lot of guys from independents coming to WWE?
Oh, I think it's fantastic, and especially because the guys who have had a long career in the independents, when they come to TV, they're ready, right? So like Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose, they're with the Shield, right? Every match they've had on TV has been fantastic, right? They get put in a position to perform, and they go out there and they perform. A lot of the guys who have only done FCW or only done the developmental stuff and have never been to Japan or never been to Mexico or never been to Europe, they just don't have that experience. So you throw them on TV and you don't know if they're going to be good or if they're going to just get scared and kind of run off, So I think it's fantastic.
Right.